Welcome to Start Before You're Ready, the podcast that proves that you don't need to wait for the perfect moment to begin your journey towards better health and happiness. I'm your host, Kelly Young. Remember, the first step is often the hardest, but it's always worth taking. Hi guys, it's Kelly and I'm back with an episode of Start Before You're Ready with a returning guest. And she's been on a few times for different topics, but today's topic is near and dear to my heart, and it's something I'm really excited to share. My guest today is Meg Phillips, and most of you in this community know who Meg Phillips is. She is a group fitness instructor with all of our formats. She is also a yoga instructor, which is a totally different beast. She also runs our retroactive program, which is our 55 plus program that we run during the day at INERGY. And she is now a certified stretch therapist. I am blown away by Meg and all that she's done really in the fitness space and how incredible she's become. And I told her I wanted to have her on this podcast because I want to talk about specifically about some of the disciplines that she's become so proficient at, but I also want to highlight her. And I'll explain this. So I've known Meg for over 20 years. She's one of my best friends in the world, and I don't know what I would do without her. But when I first met Meg, she was a follower, and she would always tell me, my friend's doing this, I'm going to try this. My friend's doing this, I'm going to try this. And I loved her, but that drove me nuts. I was like, why do you have to do what everyone else is doing? It's just not my personality. And I didn't like that she was like that. And I didn't not like her because of it, but I didn't like that she was like that. I would say that she is so the opposite of a follower now that it is mind-blowing. And I'm not taking any credit for this. I am just stating a fact. She does things on her own that speak to her. She listens to her inner voice. She knows herself. She's self-aware. She knows, like, hey, this is something that I think I'd be really good at and I want to try it. Or this is something that I think would help the people that I serve, so I want to do it. She's not listening to other people. She's listening to herself. And in my opinion, it's changed her being. And I just want to say how proud I am of her for that growth in particular. So I'll let Meg say hello to the Start Before You're Ready community. I know I've talked a bunch. And she's like, well, why am I on today? And I'm like, well, you're on for a lot of reasons. So Meg, just say hi.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Kelly, for that nice introduction. That means a lot to me, as does the community. And it's been so great to grow in the community from being a member who is helping Kelly behind the scenes to an instructor, and then just really growing in that role. I love connecting with the community. I love cheering people on. I'm also, I'd like to say, a lifelong learner. So I constantly want to grow and know the why behind things. So anyway, it's been an awesome journey so far.
Yeah, it's been an awesome journey. And I'm going to start with yoga just because I took 2 of your yoga classes this week. And for those of you that hear the word yoga and think that is not for me, or I've tried it before, I don't like it, my mind wanders, I'm not good at it, I feel stupid, it's not comfortable, it's boring, it's slow, all the things that people might be thinking, I personally want to say, I hear you. I hear you. I thought all of those things before. And all of those reasons why you think you might not like it is exactly why you should do it. Okay? That's exactly why you should do it. And it is a discipline. I can't stress that enough. It is a discipline, meaning that you have to do it to understand it. And I would put, like, if there's a scale of 1 to 10, as far as like being a yogi, I'm giving myself a 3. And I think I'm being generous, but I've gone from a 0 to a 3. And I now see the potential to where it could actually take me. And I'm excited about that. And from a very selfish perspective, I want our members to utilize our yoga program. It's hard to keep a class on the schedule when just a couple of people and it's like the same regulars are showing up. And I understand that when you're really crunched for time and you feel like you only have like, X number of time slots to work out, you're not going to pick yoga because you feel like you need the cardio or you need the strength but I'm here to tell you, you need the yoga. And Meg, can you back me up on this?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing about the yoga classes is that Tuesday morning at 6:45, we have a yoga flow class, and it follows a 6 a.m. cardio class. So that is a great pairing. Do your cardio first and then stay for a yoga. And even if you need to sneak out a little bit early, it's totally fine. Then there's a 7:30 strength and conditioning, right? Right after that.
Right.
So you could always do the yoga and then your body's feeling great by the time you roll into that class. So if you're of the mindset that you really want to get some cardio in your day, you can do that. And the classes pair so well. But the benefits that I see in the yoga is a lot of the mindfulness, the mind-body connection, just the slowing down and focusing on your breath work. We move a lot with our breath work in the flow class on Tuesday. And then the Wednesday night class, Yin Yoga, is where we hold the poses for longer, which allows you to really get into your connective tissue and your fascia. And you also, and this is a discipline, is you also slow your mind down too. And I think that's one of the hardest parts is learning to slow your mind down and concentrate on your breathing and finding stillness. And I will say, Kelly, you have come a long way in this class, just like you were saying. Like, even I can see your flexibility is so good, but even finding that stillness. So it is a discipline. And I encourage people, if they come once and think, this isn't really for me, to come a couple times, because then you'll really feel the benefits. Once your body and your mind can find that stillness, it's really impactful.
Yeah.
I've had several people say that they sleep really well at night after doing the yin class, that if they're experiencing, say, pain in their lower backs or hips, that it's really helped with that as well. So there are so many benefits of both of the yoga formats, truly.
Yeah. So I have not, this week was probably one of the first times that I've done the 6:30 class and 6:45 class, the 6:45 class. And admittingly, I'm like, Tuesday's my sleep day. And I'm not gonna sacrifice my sleep. But to Meg's point, I did have a class afterwards and wow, I felt incredible. Like, I was surprised at that. I would personally want it to be the other way around. I would want the yoga to be after in my thought process. But that yoga is different. I would want yin to be after, but that yoga is different. And it actually really opened me up, and it made me, what yoga does for me is it makes me feel more connected to my body. That's the biggest benefit, and my mind and my body together. And I know how powerful that is from whatever your fitness goals are. I know the power of the mind-body connection, and it is incredible to go through. It's just like in fitness. Like, you start off, you can't do push-ups, right? You can't do, your knees go over when you squat. It's just like that. You go from not being able to get into a position or focus or to, oh my gosh, look, I can bring my leg here now. It's so great to see yourself getting better. And I really believe that yoga is probably you probably have them. If you're someone like me, you probably have the most opportunity, especially if you're in the older age camp, to get better with yoga than anything else. I see why people get addicted to it. I see why people love it so much, because there is just so much potential to get better in yoga. And I think that it makes you better at everything. And just going back to Meg as a teacher, and she's not going to say anything great about herself, but she's really, really good. Gloria is too, by the way. I just happened to take 2 of Meg's classes this week, and she's on the podcast. They're both excellent. I feel like Meg gives the perfect amount of cues, and it is it doesn't seem like yoga would be hard to teach. It's, I think, the hardest thing to teach, because you don't want to be in their ear too much, but you want to stay in their ear. And there's just so many aspects to it. I've never done yoga training. I know absolutely nothing about the discipline of teaching, but I know good from bad, and I know Meg is excellent. So Meg, I'd love to hear from you as a teacher. Like, what's your thought process? Like, how do you want your room to feel? What are you thinking let's start with the yoga flow class.
For the yoga flow class, I want people to come in and start with finding a sense of calmness. People are racing around trying to make it to class, and there's a transition between class. So my first goal is to get them in the room, settled, and just taking a few moments to concentrate on their natural breath, finding it slowing down as they get some quiet and stillness. And then often we'll do some breath work. And so I like to point out there how breath work can impact someone's nervous system. So just slowing down, focusing on your breath work makes such a difference. And then we do some seated stretches just to kind of get the body moving. We try to move the spine in all different directions, which is so good for the spine health. And then for the rest of the class, we move through some flows and some stretching at the end. But what is most important to me, and which I really try to do, is making sure people know what they're doing. So, inhale, lift your right leg, exhale, bend your knee, pull it through. I try to cue in the right timing where people know where they're supposed to move next. We have people on Zoom often, and so I really want people to be able to concentrate on how their body's moving and their breath work, and not thinking, wait, am I doing this right? Where am I supposed to be?
Yeah.
So it's been a work in progress, but I think I've definitely improved in that area.
You're so good at it. You're so good at it. And if I can follow, then that's a true testament to how good you are at it. And I'm so glad you just mentioned Zoom, because I should have said that in the beginning of this episode. Like, don't be like, I'm not going to listen because I can't take yoga. I don't live there. First of all, where you live, you might have a beautiful yoga studio that you don't even know about. But second of all, our yoga is also virtual, both classes. And that's a class that obviously you could do quite easily from home, because it doesn't require much equipment. Your props can be stuff at home. I highly recommend, if you're doing it from home, to get a couple yoga blocks. You'll use them for something. Trust me, I've used them for various things, propping stuff up. It's worth it. They're not very expensive. You could get them at Marshall's or Home Goods or one of those stores. And a good mat. Don't try to just do it like on your rug or on your towel. A good mat actually makes a difference for yoga, especially the yoga flow, where your feet are going to be touching the mat. What else would you recommend for at-home people, Meg?
Yeah, definitely. If people want to get a bolster, bolsters are awesome, but you really can use like a couch pillow for that. That's really helpful for yen. But really,
a firm regular pillow could work as a bolster, maybe, or no?
Yeah. I think so.
It has to be firm.
I think so. If it's a firm one.
I think like the back.
Really, I mean.
Yeah, the back of a couch. I mean, if you're doing it regularly, get a bolster. Because I didn't, I probably wouldn't have bought bolsters. I had a woman reach out to me that was closing her business and was like, I've got bolsters, blankets, blah, straps, blocks. I'm like, I don't want the bolsters. I don't know. I didn't even ask. Oh no, I messaged you and Gloria and you're like, yes, go get them. And they were all like brand new. And then that first yoga class, you did reclining butterfly with the bolster. And I was like, oh my God, this cannot be duplicated. The bolster is essential. So yeah, I kind of agree that the bolster is essential. And I like both of the bolsters too. Like we have at the studio, we've got both, but it is almost nice to have the option. But if I were to get one, I'd get the bigger one.
Yeah. So Kelly's referring to, there's one that's kind of like a bigger rectangular bolster. And then there's also smaller, long, they're just a little bit smaller. And so they're really useful for things like slipping it under your legs and butterfly. We did that last night. So I like having both of them as well.
Yeah.
But again, pillows from home are fine if you're Zooming.
Yeah. And yoga blocks work fine too. Okay, so we're talking. Let's move on to talk about yin a
Yeah.
little bit, and that's what I'm
Mhm.
more familiar with as far as yoga. And I think for somebody like me, that has been a game changer because I am tight, and it is like you identify yourself a certain way. Like everyone that's ever touched me, anyone, you name it. Oh my God, you're so tight. Is the first thing they always say. And I don't know, I just kind of got that in my head. I'm tight, I'm tight, I'm tight. And I'm sure I'm still tight, but I don't feel tight when I do yin at all. I feel loose. I feel flexible.
Mhm.
And I really accredit it to being consistent with yin. And I don't go every single week,
Yeah.
but if I can be there, I'm there. And I really, really credit the change in my flexibility to yin yoga, 100%. I don't know what else I would accredit it to unless it's just like hormonal, which you never know. But,
You never
it
know.
could
No.
be.
We'll say it's yen.
But I think it's yin. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Meg?
Sure. Amber used to teach yen
Yep.
at the studio, and it was a 90-minute class. And I remember going, and my mind would be racing, and I would think, there is no way I'm going to be able to hold this pose
4 minutes.
for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. But then I got more interested in yoga and got my certification. And I just really love yin. I love just everything about it. Finding the areas of tension, finding stillness in your body and your mind, and then holding it for an extended period of time, longer than you would if you were just stretching and at the end of a class, say. And you can actually sometimes feel like my body will sometimes twitch as
Mhm.
it's as those muscles, as those that fascia is loosening. So I do think it's one of the classes that you can feel a difference pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
And I find so much value in slowing down
Yeah.
too. And sometimes people need to sign up for a class for that because they're always go, 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 go. So it forces you to slow down and find that stillness for your body and your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that even I toyed with the idea of going home and doing it from home, but there's something about being, for me, I know that I would make the bed. I know I would do something. Like I know that I wouldn't be able to like, I have to be. So if you are doing it from home, I have several recommendations. I would say, first of all, the atmosphere is important. In yin, the atmosphere is important. The temperature is important. The aesthetics of the room. You don't want to be in a spot that's like cluttered. You want to be in a spot that's like the clearest space in your house. You could totally do it from your phone. So you don't need to be in like your TV room. You could be in just, oh, well, in Annapolis, I had that little room. I'm like, this is going to be my yoga room because there's nothing in it. That's why it was like nothing in it, just the idea of like a clear space. You don't have to have a clear space, but it does make a difference. And I think the lighting and I think even scent, Meg does the lavender spray sometime, but like if I were to do it from home, I would probably light a candle or do something just to kind of create like a little bit of an atmosphere. I think that would make a difference and be comfortable also. You don't need to be in like, a tight tank top or a sport. I'm not sure, like maybe you should speak to what you should wear for yin, because I probably have my own opinion that might not be correct. But what do you feel like, Meg?
No, you're absolutely for yen, you're really on the floor. There are a couple standing poses, but I rarely include them. So you're on the mat the entire time and just comfortable, loose, comfortable
Yeah,
clothing is fine. And in the studio, we do typically turn the temperature up a little bit to make it a little bit warmer than a regular class, but it's still cool. So coming with something long sleeves,
yep,
maybe long pants.
yep,
And then from home, I mean, you can be wearing your PJs. You can be
exactly.
wearing pajama pants,
100%.
just
100%.
something cozy
Yep.
and loose that allows you to move around into the poses. So just comfortable, be comfortable.
Yeah. Now, what about dinner with yin, Meg? Because I remember Amber used to tell us not to eat before, and it was easy because it was in the afternoon. But
Mhm.
how do you feel about people eating? I know you have to eat dinner because you teach at 5, and then you've got to go home and eat.
Right, right, right. So I usually go home and eat and then come back, and it doesn't bother my stomach. I I think sometimes they say not to do yin on a full stomach, and I don't know if that's a digestion thing but it hasn't bothered me. And I do feel like the time that we have the class, people are most likely going to be eating beforehand,
Yeah.
and it's fine. It
Yeah.
hasn't been a problem for me at all.
Yeah. I will say when I subbed for you last Tuesday, I drank my coffee, like a full cup of coffee, and ate my toast with peanut butter. And I was like, no, the coffee was not. It was too much. First of all, like,
For that class.
yeah,
For
like
the
for right
Tuesday.
before. And then last week I did different. I just took a couple sips of coffee, or this week, and I had like a tiny kind, like a mini kind bar, because I need something. I don't feel good if I don't eat.
Well, and if you did like down dogs, that doesn't feel good with a
But no, that was
coffee,
perfect.
especially after
So,
coffee.
and I had something in my stomach so
Yeah.
that was perfect. So you just have to, everybody's different. I don't think there's any right or wrong. Like a true yogi might tell you to be fasted but we're just.
It feels good. It still feels good.
That's right.
Your body still feels
That's
great.
important. Okay. Well, this is great and super helpful. And I just, again, want to say, you have to set an expectation for yourself with the yoga if you're interested in adding it to your routine. You can't just say, I'm going to go sometimes. You need to say, okay, I'm going to start by going once a month, whether it be the morning or the evening, or you're doing a recorded. You have to set a goal for yourself and stick to it. Make it non-negotiable, because other stuff will get in the way. And it's hard to justify any workout time or time for yourself when you have a lot of stuff to do. But it really is, you get the time back. You get the time back for your mind and your body and your productivity. And it is important. It is important. So don't look at it like, oh, like I'd love to go to yoga, but like remind yourself this is really important, and not giving yourself permission to not go. I'm speaking personally, because this is how I got myself to go consistently. I would tell myself, and sometimes I even say, Meg, I'm leaving early. Like last night I told you, I'm leaving early because I'm hungry.
And then she didn't.
And I didn't. But I had to tell myself that because I was so hungry. And I didn't that's me. Everyone's different, but make it non-negotiable. Like, I'm going to stay for 15 minutes and then see how you feel. Like, that's kind of and for me, I'm already there. But like, if you're going, just get yourself there. Just get yourself there. You're not going to, whatever it is that you have to do, yoga is going to be a better use of your time. I'm going to say that quite boldly. Yeah. What you get out of the time you're in yoga is going to be a better use of your time. Or do it from home so you save the commute if you have a commute.
Just one more thing to add is that our yoga classes are very accessible for everyone.
100%.
So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I see these yogis on Instagram and they're doing all these crazy things, ours is very accessible to everyone. So
100%.
Just come give it a try.
Yes. And last night was like really special. Last night was my favorite yoga class ever. And there were so many things that were special about it. And I think one thing that I've been really appreciating, and we should talk about this too, is how you're incorporating the Zenergy Reset program into it, chakras. And I know the chakras don't speak to everybody, and I don't even really, I thought I knew about chakras. I really knew absolutely nothing. I'm learning a lot in Gretchen's program, and Meg and Gloria have been so incredible to incorporate the chakras in. And it is brilliant. It is like, it's so educational, and it makes so much sense, especially with the music you've been using and the cues that you've been giving. Oh my gosh, I didn't even tell you this. Oh my gosh. Yesterday when you asked us to send something to a friend, I sent it to Beth Meyer, and I told her today in class, and of course, this was before. I was like, did you feel the green energy I sent you? Now, this sounds crazy. We sound crazy. But it wasn't even sending green energy. It was sending love. I just told her that. I was just being silly. And she kind of smiled, and she's like, yeah, and I found 2 4-leaf clovers yesterday. And it was just like, she probably found them during the day, not at night. So I can't say that my energy.
Still.
But it's just fun, right? It's just fun. And I really like the level of education And it's just a little bit, but it's just enough. If you want to catch on to it and it means something to you, you can grab it. But if you don't, it's like not even part of it. You could totally ignore it and just be like, whatever, Meg's saying, who cares? But I really appreciate and value, and I got a lot out of it. And I got a lot out of Gretchen's program with learning. And I know Meg and I talked a little offline. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Meg? About
Sure.
bringing that?
So Gretchen is running a summer camp, which is a 7-week program aligned to the 7 chakras. And it's been awesome because through our yoga teacher training, we had exposure to the chakras, but not a deep dive. So I've loved getting the information from Gretchen each week, which she provides an overview of the chakra and what it looks like when it's in balance and when it's not balanced, and colors and elements and food that supports that chakra, music. So it's been really interesting, and affirmations. So Gloria and I have been incorporating some of this information into our yoga classes, and it's just been really fun. Like the focus last night, what Kelly's talking about is we did one of the loving kindness meditation as our starting, which also is called metta. So we've just been incorporating some of the chakra. Last night was the heart chakra. So we did a lot of heart opening, some things to loosen your shoulders and your upper back to give you that more open chest. So it's been fun having a focus each week and learning more about the chakras.
Yes, and you've done a great job with it. And I also forgot to tell you that when we did the child's pose yesterday, when I looked through, it was a perfect heart because my feet were together and it was like this.
I love
It
that.
was like a perfect heart.
Oh, I love that. And you had the light. No, you didn't. I was going to say where you were sitting, did you have the light coming in from the outside, the window too? I don't know.
I didn't.
Sometimes
Yeah, I didn't see that as much, but I just felt like, I guess Lori was in front of me, Beth Danberg was in front of me, and I just felt very like, and that's, I don't think that's supposed to, please don't listen to me, but like, I just felt very connected to the room more so last night than I ever have. I think because we were a little closer in proximity. Usually, like after the outskirts, everyone's kind of spread out.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know why, we were kind of like all around the ring to cage, like in a like almost
Yes.
And it just felt different. It's incredible. It's incredible, like how that's to me energy. That's like we didn't create that. It's just the energy was just different in the room last night, which
right. It was cute when Beth came in. She's like, "Oh wait, I'm supposed to set up over here," and it was where everybody else was. Like so she was kind of drawn to the space where everyone was. So you're absolutely right. Everyone was kind of grouped a little closer last night.
It was awesome.
Which was perfect for our heart chakra week.
Yeah, it really was. It was perfect. It was great, Meg. Okay, so we've talked about yoga. So I also told Meg offline, I like to announce things here, but we have to do this again. We have to do the chakras and the yoga as like a 7-week program, whether it's an extra camp or not, I don't know. It doesn't matter. People are benefit. That's what I also love. It's like Meg's learning from Gretchen and then Meg sharing it with her yoga participants, whether they like it or not. So it's like, but it is very, very valuable. I like the series in yoga. And I think that could be really helpful for someone that's kind of like non-commit, like not sure if it's the right for them. It's like, okay, I can do a 4-week series or a 7-week series, just like what Gloria did with the sound bath, which was insane.
Right.
The participation that we had for that, it was absolutely amazing. I was so proud of her and us in the studio, and just, it was really, really good. And, just to say one more thing about yoga, like I do believe that we are obviously professional certified yoga instructors with all of the hundreds of hours of training and ongoing training, but we're not a yoga studio. Like, I'm not going to claim to be a yoga studio. We're a fitness studio that offers yoga with certified instructors. And I just want to be able to keep doing that because I value that so much. And I want more people to take advantage of it because it is. And if you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, I would, but the time or whatever, okay, let us know. Like if you would, let us know. We're not married. We kind of tried to pick some, a little bit of variety and a time time where I feel like the middle of the week is just a really nice time to do yoga. I would be sad if we moved it from Wednesday night. But yeah, let us know. That's good. Okay, let's move on to talk about what Meg's most recent endeavor was. And I had the privilege of being one of her first students. So we were at a fitness conference this spring, and we met a guy named Evans who runs a stretch certification. And when I say this guy is top notch, I mean he is top notch. He is very serious about what he does. He's incredibly educated. He has created a business around this that is going through there. I mean, he's all over the place. He's all over the country doing this, and he's excellent. And of course, we're all interested in it. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Meg's like, I'm going to sign up. I'm like, no, Meg, you don't. What do you do? You have like 9 jobs already. Like, you don't need another. What are you doing? No. She's like, I just want to learn more. And I feel like it will help she's got a personal training client. So she felt like it would help her. And she's just interested in it. And she signed up. Well, fast forward, the timing was not great for her. Her mom was very sick, and she was caring for her mom. And in my mind, I was like, oh, that's going to be a waste. Meg spent thousands of dollars. She's not going to do it. She's gonna that's it. But sure enough, she found a time to go to Delaware, stay overnight, meet random people, and and do a 2-day, 12-hour a day certification. This is after she had to do all the coursework beforehand to even get to the certification. And okay, great. She did the certification. Who cares? Whatever. Great. That's awesome, Meg. You're awesome. Well, then I went over to her house and got stretched by her. And I've been stretched before. I love being stretched. It's one of my very favorite things in the world is to be stretched. Okay. I've been stretched at Stretch Zone. I've done massage stretching. I value stretching, and I value being stretched by another person. Meg's next level. Okay. Her stretching, what she learned from Evans or from that certification is a little more advanced. It's way more than you do at the Stretch Zone. Stretch Zone is great. I love the Stretch Zone, but there's like 5 stretches and they're very basic. This is very physical. Meg has to really kind of get involved in moving you into different positions. It's not awkward at all. Like if you're like, wait, what? It's not, I don't think, well, I mean, I wouldn't, I don't find stuff like that awkward anyway, but I don't think you could be modest and I don't think you'd find it awkward. All right, Meg, you tell us about stretch.
Okay. Well, I will say one of the stretches I have to grab your gluteus medius, and I don't feel uncomfortable with it. So maybe that will make, other people not feel uncomfortable about it. Like you're getting stretched. It feels great. I would like to say part of the reason I signed up is that if you signed up during the fitness conference, you got a free massage bed. So I'm a sucker for those kind of things.
For marketing.
No, I'm
but
just
bed
kidding.
Was worth it, though. It's really nice.
It's nice. Yeah. I'm only sort of kidding, but
she's not.
I was really, I was really interested in it because as we are aging, we want to stay as active in our body and feeling good in our body. And I'm always so impressed when I go to see a chiropractor or a physical therapist or just their knowledge about the body. Yeah. And if you're feeling pain in one area, it might be caused by this other area. And I didn't want to go to school to become a doctor, but I am always interested in learning more about the body mechanics and how to help someone ease their pain. Again, always go to your doctor if it's something extreme, but ways that I can assist in areas of tightness or flexibility or mobility. So I was excited to learn more about that. And it was a great program. And just to give you a quick history of how Evan started the program is he had a client, a personal training client. So he has a studio called CNU Fit, which is a small gym with personal training. And he had a client come to him one time who was really stressed and just said, can we do something different today? And I guess he normally did some stretching at the end with them. And so she's like, can we just do a little bit more of that? And so he did that a couple times with her. And then other people in the gym were like, hey, can you do that for me? And so he then did a whole bunch of certifications and programs himself and created this program. So it came like we do at
Yeah.
KBC, it came out of an interest from his members. And then everyone kind of really saw the value in it. Again, whether it was addressing areas of pain or just helping with flexibility, which then improves all movement. So anyway, I was excited in learning more.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So you did the certification. What was when you were learning and doing the certification, what was your biggest aha?
Okay, so he had us doing the practice trainings with all the people who were there to
Mhm.
be certified, and then our final exam, he brought a bunch of his members with all sorts of issues that we had to work around.
So smart.
Um,
So smart.
I think, yeah, and I think my biggest aha was that you can do it's very physical. Like I'm lifting legs and I'm pulling legs
Yeah.
and I'm
Oh, yeah.
but your the way your body supports the movements is I can stretch anyone.
Yep.
Like I can stretch any
I like
size
that.
bodies
Right.
and yeah, and make a difference.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
No, I was just saying like a big football player or like some yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. And it's there's such value in it. There's such value in it. And here's what I really like about being stretched or what you just got certified to do. You can wear regular clothes, right?
Mhm.
It's a half an hour. It's typically a half an hour. Maybe it's 45. I'm not
Mhm.
sure, but it really truly is. Like you lie on the table and somebody helps you with your flexibility and teaches you and coaches you. It's like a one-on-one experience like no other, really. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe the only thing I can compare to it is maybe like a massage, but some people some people aren't comfortable in massage. So I feel like most everybody would be like comfortable in this environment. It's more it just seems more inclusive. Like it doesn't feel I can see any of my boys being on that table and being like perfectly fine, like, loving it. And they do. And obviously, like that's what trainers do for athletes. But also you learn too. I feel like you learn, like you see like, oh my gosh, like first, maybe you're more flexible than you thought, or I'm tight here, or this is a really good move. And
Mhm.
having someone assist you is game changing, but there's things that you can also do on your own. And I think it kind of it highlights that as well.
Yeah. I think the other cool thing is you can find imbalances in your
Oh,
body.
100%.
So, one shoulder's tighter than the other, one hip, so it helps to kind of diagnose imbalances, giving some areas of focus. So that's
Which
kind of cool too.
which what do we know about imbalances?
Well, then your body overcompensates and it just causes other imbalances,
Imbalances causes
right?
injury. That's why people get injured is because of imbalance in their body. It's either, discrepancy in strength, discrepancy in flexibility. That's what jacks us up. I like to use the word jack. My super technical term is that's what jacks us up. You got something tight on one side, not the other, and then you start compensating in another way, and then you're walking weird, and then you're doing this, and then your back goes out, and then
Yeah. All of
it's a
it is
mess, a
compounded.
mess. But yeah, so good. I'm really proud of you for doing that. And I hope
Thanks.
that I told Meg, I'm a bossy friend. And I'm like, Meg, you gotta do this. You guys like start doing this right now. Like you can't wait because you just learned a ton. I mean, I went to her the days after she got back and it's a lot. Like I would not be a good candidate for this because it's a lot. I would need like a lot. Meg's got a very short learning curve when it comes to stuff like this. She picks stuff up very quickly. And I just think you need to just keep doing it to
Yeah.
keep everything that you learned. And that was an intensive what you got when in those 2 days. And
Yes.
you just need to keep practicing it and doing it.
Yes. My original plan was to get certified in April, and then I had all this time where I could incorporate it, and so I started before I was ready
Yep.
with the July because now I have, a bunch of trips planned. So I will end up having, some appointments, and I just have to figure out the best way to do that if they're to start with, if they're not on a regular cadence around
Yeah.
travel plans. And then I also have another idea of doing a kind of stretch led class, or like whether a pop-up or at an end of class where people partner up and I kind of lead through some of the facilitated stretch. So
I love
stay
that
tuned for
idea.
that too.
I absolutely love that idea. I'm so into that idea. It's such a great way to utilize what you've learned and make it accessible to everybody. Because obviously, there's got to be. I mean, it's a one-on-one experience,
Yeah.
so it's going to have a price to it. But that's a way for people to experience without having to necessarily pay extra. So that's a brilliant,
Right.
brilliant, brilliant
That
idea.
I have to give credit to Debbie, because Debbie DW is the one who was like, "Are you going to do this?" And I was like, "Oh, I hadn't thought about that, but that's a great idea."
Yeah.
So
It is a great idea. It is a great idea. And then it helps people learn how to stretch other people too.
right,
That's
right.
very, very good. I love it. Okay, well, the only thing that we didn't talk about was retro, and let's give retro a little bit of love.
Oh my gosh, you can't see my hands, but I'm doing heart hands. I love the retro program so much. I love the group of people we have involved. Oh gosh, some of the people have been involved in the program since 2018 when the program launched. And it's just amazing the things that they're able to do. I love when I hear from them things that they've noticed outside of the studio that they've been able to help with, whether it's moving a couch or having better balance on a boat when they're out fishing with family or hiking. There's just been so many wins from the program. So our goal is for people to come and to really just be able to keep fully living their lives and remaining active. We've seen great strides in strength, in balance, in mobility, and we also have a lot of fun. It's a great community, a great place to connect. We do get together outside of the studio sometimes for lunches. We have a holiday tea that Peach hosts. Anyway, it's just I can't say enough good things about the program.
Yeah,
And it's been so great adding Colleen to the team.
amazing.
Yeah, she's incredible. And we now have retro 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11. That Friday edition has been so good. Everyone really appreciates having the 3 days. And yeah, it's been so good.
Yeah, it's incredible, Meg. And one of the things that I love about retro is it's so I subbed and I was nervous to teach it because I didn't feel like I was like qualified as far as that population. And there's a huge diversity in it where it's like, but you guys are so good at being like, what every single person can do. You know what every single person needs to work on. It's like a personal training. It's almost like a personal training program with, a group price tag. So the amount of individual attention that you're able to give everybody, and that's the benefit of having a small group where it's like there it is a slightly, we haven't raised the price because we just love we added more classes. I was just on a call. Kelly, you just keep adding stuff. Did you change your pricing? I'm like, no, I did not. And that makes a lot of sense as to why the things are happening.
We did just raise it a little bit.
Oh,
We
for
did just raise
retro?
it a
We
little
did?
bit early.
Oh, when we added the third day.
Yeah.
Okay, we did raise it
Yes.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But who
Yeah.
cares? Who cares about that? I don't.
Yeah.
The value.
No. It's
The
still such a
value
great.
of retro is like seeing them walking into the studio when retro is happening and seeing the relationships that have built and the strength and the confidence and the breath. I love, like, there's a couple people in retro that will they'll come up to me and be like, Kelly, I can do this. I could do. And I'm like, the fact that is like so exciting to them because they know what it means. It means their independence. It means so
Yeah.
much. It means so much
Yeah.
at any stage of life. Like our physical being, our physical ability is important, and we have to obviously work with what we have. But they're fighting really hard for just longevity and independence and strength, and they also like the way it makes them feel, right? Like they're just, I say they, like basically us. It's our age.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I mean, just the energy that they get from it and the community, there's just so much value to it. And you do such a good job, Meg, of just making everybody feel included and seen. And you're a rock star coach in every class that you teach. But I think the
Thanks.
retro the value that you bring to retro is just incredible. And I'm
Thanks.
very, very proud of you and Colleen, and, shout out to Jody for bringing us retro, because she is really the founder of retro.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
And it's something that we don't really talk about enough. Like it's such a great program, and there's so much value to it. And it is growing, it's growing. Like you've grown it. It's the people that do it keep coming back. That alone should tell us something. And when new people come, they love it.
Yes. So I have to say, I can't take full credit for the welcoming environment, because all of the members are so welcoming. When someone new comes, they're so welcoming. They cheer each other on, and they also will be like, you can do heavier than that for certain weights, they'll say. So one of our members, Kelly, just went up in her weights, and I think Kim was telling her, Kelly, you can do more than that.
Yeah.
And Kelly's noticing a difference. She was going to have shoulder surgery this summer and ended up canceling her shoulder surgery because she thinks that and I think this is true, like building the muscles around where she was feeling the pain, her shoulder doesn't bother her as much. I know.
Wow.
So I definitely can't take full credit. The members of Retro are amazing and welcoming and encouraging. And so it's such a great program.
I love that. That's so great. Well, Meg, this has been so fun to talk to you about all the things. And you are certainly incredible guest to have on the Start Before You're Ready podcast, because I do feel like you've just gained so much confidence. And I just want to kind of go back to what I was saying in the beginning. And my opinion is that the reason why you've been able to do so much so successfully and with confidence is because of your why. Because you saw what fitness did for you. You saw how getting treatment. I know you've had your share of injuries just like the rest of us, and you've gone to people like Josiah, and you've gone to Annette and Chris and Fran, and you've seen like, hey, I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't do this, and now I can. And now you want to bring that to other people, which is just incredible. And the ways that you're doing it complement each other so well. Even the training that you got in stretch for retro is incredible. And for just to have that knowledge is so great. So shout out to you, Meg Phillips. Super proud of you.
Thank you. Thanks. This has been a whole ego boost for me, Kelly. Thank you so much.
Listen to this when you
wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be possible without you.
Well, yeah, you've exceeded that by a million. I take no credit for you anymore. You're here now. I'm looking up. All right, Meg, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for being on. And hey, guys, if you listen to the end, first of all, thank you so much. Second of all, if you like this podcast and you have not yet left a review, we would love a review. If you feel like this podcast could help somebody else, even if you're like, well, maybe just the part about the retro, or maybe just the part about stretching or whatever, you can tell them like, hey, go to 30 minutes or listen on 1.5. I don't think you want to listen to me on 1.5. I talk really fast, but I have adopted that for some things where I feel like there's parts that I'm going to be more interested than others. So I'll listen to it fast and then slow it down when it's something that's more relevant to me. So please share this. And if there's anything that you thought of while you were listening to this, please share it, because again, our whole mission is to be community minded. And if it's something that's important to you, it might be important to somebody else. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Start Before You're Ready. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend who might need a little motivation. Ready to start your own journey? Check out our workouts and nutrition coaching programs at kellysbootcamp.net. You can choose from in-person sessions or virtual programs. Set up a complimentary coaching session to get started. Follow along with me and the show on social media at Kellys_bootcamp. Until next time, this is Kelly Young reminding you that the best time to start is always now.